Kodiak bear versus polar bear. Who would win a fight between the two huge bears? A battle between the Kodiak and a polar bear is the product of human imagination that is next to impossible to happen in real settings. Polar bears are the king giants of the Arctic zones, while Kodiak bears are exclusively native to the Kodiak archipelago for more than 12,000 years. Their paths never collide. Both are bear species, but they have several differences in regards to their diet, geographical range, and habits. Perhaps their only commonality is their bulky size. They are nearly the same size-wise. Anyway, both big animals have long mesmerized naturalists for their enormous strength and ability to hunt and put down prey that's just as big as them. Their characteristics. Kodiak bears are among the biggest species of brown bears in the wild that you don't want to mess with them. The male may reach a height of 10 feet tall, or 3 meters, and weigh on average 800 to 1,400 pounds, or 362 to 635 kilograms. Female Kodiaks are smaller in size, but they are still pretty big overall. Their weight ranges from 500 to 700 pounds, or 226 to 317 kilograms. The specific bear is also brown. The general coloring of the face of the bear is typically lighter than the rest of the body. This is what sets them apart from the famous brown grizzly bear species. The gigantic head of the Kodiak bear is worth examining. They also have strong and sharp teeth and jaw lines that can pierce through prey in seconds. Their bodies are bulky, allowing them to store body fat. Their claws are also very long and sharp. Their biggest weakness is their eyesight, which is not very sharp, but they compensate for it with their strong sense of smell and hearing. Polar bears are likewise XXL animals. While both genders appear similar, males are 2 times as big as females. A mature male polar bear typically ranges from 7.9 to 9.8 feet, or 2.4 to 3 meters, with an average weight of 770 to 1,500 pounds, or 350 to 680 kilos. The biggest male polar recorded so far weighed a whopping 2,209 pounds, or 1,002 kilos. Female bears are obviously smaller, measuring 5.9 to 7.9 feet, or 1.8 to 2.4 meters lengthwise, and weigh on average 330 to 550 pounds, or 149 to 249 kilograms. However, females can grow double during pregnancy. Thanks to their small tails, ears, and short yet strong legs, polar bears have adjusted to the ice-cold environment of the Arctic zone. Their big feet also help them balance their weight on snow and ice. Their powerful and piercing claws also help them to gain balance, dig through the ice, and for killing their prey. Their natural range. The Kodiak bear subspecies are scattered only throughout the Kodiak Peninsula in southwest Alaska. The islands these bears inhabit include Ugane, Raspberry, Afognak, Sitkalidak, and of course Kodiak and nearby islands. This implies that the bears have a natural range that stretches 5,000 square miles. These large animals live only in subpolar environments, just below the Arctic zone. The islands are watered by the Arctic Ocean, which gives them access to plenty of food sources. On the islands, they are found anywhere from dense forests to icy mountains. Some of the islands also have hills, rivers, lakes, and tundras, all of which Kodiak bears can also take advantage of. The majority of polar bears are found north of the Arctic Circle to the North Pole. There are also some bear populations in the Hudson Bay of Manitoba, Canada. You can see polar bears in cold countries like Alaska, Russia, Canada, and Greenland, as well as some northern islands owned by Norway. Polar bears rely on the ocean ice, which develops above the water levels where seals, their main prey, are found. When marine ice is not available, they will spend a lot of time on land. They are generally very good swimmers, capable of moving through long distances between land and sea ice if needed. However, when a storm strikes during their extra long swims, they may drown. These long swims and random storms are also hard for their cubs. During periods of ice breaking apart, polar bears often swim between floating ice bodies. Kodiak bears, on the other hand, can be found in more urban regions, especially near garbage dumpsters and landfills. I hope you are enjoying the video so far. Before we proceed, please consider liking the video. This will help us with the YouTube algorithm. Diet and hunting style. Kodiak bears are omnivorous, which means they eat both plants and meat. The bear's big size is mainly due to the wealth of food available to them on Kodiak Island. Generally speaking, Kodiak bears are solitary animals, though they sometimes feed in big groups when food is bountiful. After their winter hibernation, they feed on plants and dead animals. From May to October, bears like to eat salmon. Fish in general is a good food in their diet. However, Kodiak bears will frequently spare their time eating plants rather than putting in the time and energy to prey on animals. Berries, seaweed, and invertebrates are among their favorite plant foods. On the other hand, polar bears like to prey on seals, something that makes them more carnivorous. If the food sources around them are plenty, they will only feed on seal fat. These calorie-rich foods help the bear develop fat deposits, something that keeps them healthy and strong between their meals, as well as help regulate their internal temperature. If they fail to hunt seals, polar bears will also seek other food sources available, like rodents, birds, fish, plants, eggs, and human food junk. Their behavior. Kodiak bears prefer to live in solitude for the most part. They will reside in regions where other bears are nearby, and even share the same food. However, they do not stay in social groups for long. Bears will mark their dominance by making various noises and sending body signals to prevent fights. Similar to other bear species, their habits vary based on the presence of humans nearby. Bears that reside in regions with a higher human population will be mainly nightly, while bears in more isolated areas are most active during the nighttime. Polar bears usually live their lives alone, except when mating, when a female bear raising her babies creates a family group, or when several bears are gathered to share a big food source, like beached and dead whales. Young polar bears close to Churchill on Hudson Bay in Canada have been spotted playing with chained dogs without attacking or killing them, even though they are capable of doing so. Again, thanks for watching. Please don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. This shows us that you like the video and allows us to make more exciting ones just like this. Now, let's get back to our main question. Who would be the winner in a possible fight between these two strong bears? The Kodiak bear or polar bear? It's an unlikely match, but there is not much doubt of how this would play out. Because Kodiak bears are a brown bear subspecies, polar bears tremor in the sight of grizzlies, to whom they always release their prey. In case a 1,500-pound polar bear escapes from a 900-pound grizzly bear, it will surely flee from a fight against a 1,200-pound Kodiak bear, which is nearly identical to a grizzly, except much larger and stronger. At first sight, it appears that polar bears outweigh brown bears size-wise. A closer examination of the facts makes the answer to this question clearer. A Kodiak may not have a clear edge over a polar bear for the following reasons. Kodiaks have the most powerful limbs of any land predator, and this is attributed to the humps they have on their backs, which belong to the muscles that use these strong parts. The claws of a polar bear are mainly 3-inch latches for solid footing and moving on ice. The bears use their claws with ease to dig deep holes on the icy ground and can wreak more damage than polar bear claws. Grizzlies have nearly the same size of canines as that of polar bears and bit force that reaches 1,200 psi, but they are more heavily built. Maybe all the above features are not enough to withstand the power that collects to lean body mass, but there is another powerful advantage of Kodiak bears: their stamina. Polar bears may showcase good stamina when they swim in ice-cold water, but when they move on land, their body temperature rises fast due to their dense fatty insulation covered by thick skin and fur. So, if there was a battle between the Kodiak and the polar bear in icy settings, the polar bear will run away faster than it does when grizzlies are around. The Kodiak bear is nearly the same size as the polar bear, but strength-wise, it is far superior on land. The polar bear will most likely be the loser here and will run away for its life. What do you think? Which of the two would win in a possible fight? Tell us in the comments down below.